The following is a discussion on one of the many theories to the mystery of Raxxla. It is not a verification or confirmation to where or what Raxxla is. Neither is it to discount other theories floating around in the elite ether. An open mind is required. The mysteries of Raxxla takes many different twists when it comes to the Frontier forums, from crypto references possibly pertaining within literature of some influencing sources to the literal number crunching hard science of the game. Most of the posts are of a good nature and respectful of other people's opinions. One of the common themes to the identification of Raxxla is that it could be a rogue planet drifting through the cosmos. A rogue planet, also termed an interstellar planet, nomad planet, free floating planet, unbound planet, orphan planet, wandering planet, starless planet, or sunless planet, is a planetary mass object that orbits a galactic centre directly. Such objects have been ejected from the planetary system in which they form, or have been gravitationally bound to any star or brown dwarf. The Milky Way alone has billions of rogue planets. Some planetary mass objects have been found in a similar way to stars, and the International Astronomical Union has proposed that such objects can be called sub-brown dwarfs. A possible example is CHA 110913-773444, which might have been ejected and become a rogue planet or otherwise formed on its own to become a sub-brown dwarf. Although these objects are a reality to our own galaxy, they are as yet unknown to the elite universe. Many thoughts on how they could operate within the Cobra engine is they would sit out in the far reaches of a star system, unscannable and out of reach to the naked eye. As to the current limitations of the engine of the game, these rogue planets could only remain within one instance of each system at any one time, meaning that if a hypothetical object was halfway between two stars, then you could only access it with the instance of one of the stars, not both. As far as I can gather, any drifting body would have to be placed manually in each system as it drifts through the black. One possible way to identify a rogue planet would be the use of a black hole, as the light, or in this case, shadow of light, would twist and bend as you move the camera around. It may be possible to catch a brief glimpse of one of these objects. The cryptic nature of some of the sites at the better known black holes could be a clue to when we should look for such an object. What if, in fact, the object we were looking for is an entire star system, engulfed in the ancient metallics of an ancient alien race? These are known as Dyson spheres, a star completely encased in an artificial structure, or at least partially encased, so its builders can harvest 100% of its energy. As to the astronomical scale of this structure, using singularities to move the star would probably be a possibility to these builders. One such place in the real galaxy was, at one point in time, thought to contain a similar object by some sections. KIC 8462852, or Tabby Star, was at one point in time observed to have unusual fluctuations of light, that there could be some gigantic structure built around the star comparable to a partial Dyson sphere. Further analysis based on the data through the end of 2017 showed wavelength dependent dimming consistent with dust, but not an opaque object such as an alien megastructure, which would block all wavelengths of light equally. Could there be in fact one of these stellar bastions within this game, wandering through the cosmos? What would the life forms that live here look like? Or how would they view humanity? One tale within the codex connected with Raxxla is the tale of a pirate who had found Raxxla. In fact, it was apparently the first tale of this supposed place. Could a rogue planet or rogue star drift through the locale of Sol at this time? If so, was it abandoned, or were the lights on or off, however you look at it? This could explain why there was apparently conversations on the topic of Raxxla in the lore over 800 years prior to the modern day events. That Raxxla has no fixed point in space, simply drifting through the core world, blackened and out of sight. Of recent, there have been some rumblings on the FDev forum as to the possible pointer to the direction on Raxxla, but on the Amiga 500. As to the nature of these comments, it is somewhat of a touchy subject for me, and I will respect the original poster's privacy and not go into detail. Basically, the poster has claimed there is an exploit of some kind on the Amiga 500 version of Elite 2 that would allow you to reset the galaxy and locate a Coriolis station. Again, the retcon condition to this or whether it is legit is unknown, as I simply do not have the time to crack open Workbench and load Elite 2. To inspect these claims, follow the link below. Could Raxxla be a station of some kind that was abandoned many eons ago? Could the immense power of this object give humanity more reasons to fear it than to discover its location? The dormant technology or guardians of this site, long lost from its masters, yet stood as ready to protect as the day they rolled off the Raxxla production line. My own thoughts is that this is doubtful, that Raxxla is in fact a Dyson sphere. The nature of the game engine makes these types of objects very difficult to find and plot through the Stellar Forge. But what do I know? I could be right, I could be wrong. So far, I'd like to raise a few comments on my video that I have found particularly interesting. The first is from KessilRun. One thing I've always tried to point out: why would a planet supposed to have been Andromeda end up in the Milky Way? There are two Raxxlas, allegedly, one a Coriolis station, where one stopped to ask for permission to use a gateway to Andromeda, and the planet itself somewhere in Andromeda, which Jason Ryder once located. I believe the one we seek is a station, and it may very well be wherever the Dark Wheel hideout is, which recently someone pointed out could be the permit lock system LFT 509 system. On account, that is the only known system consisting of a gas giant with 8 moons. Well, firstly, we currently have very little confirmed on the topic of Raxxla. This includes even the Dark Wheel novel itself. FDev have neither confirmed or denied the Dark Wheel novel has been retconned, or at the very least partially retconned. The whole entry on the Dark Wheel is written as though to suggest it is neither confirmed truth nor confirmed lie. The author would otherwise label the toast as the actual toast, not the alleged. LFT 509 is also not the only system with a gas giant with 8 moons that sits behind a permit lock. As we see here, this is Polaris. There is also a gas giant with 8 moons. Although I do think LFT 509 has some major relevance to the progression of the story of Elite Dangerous, I personally doubt that it is directly connected with the Dark Wheel or Raxxla. I'm more of in the mindset that it's a place that the Fargoids are looking for some unknown reason. The next is from Payperheirplain. Random side note, I'm currently part of a small scale expedition to search a specific area of space on a tinfoil theory for Raxxla. As I'm flying around to look for various planets in our system, I'm noticing that if you cut the music in Super Cruise, I'm hearing interesting noises, almost like I'm hearing a thunderstorm going on around me, but I'm just super cruising around the system. It's interesting. I'm going to start paying attention and seeing if these noises are the same in every instance, or if they vary based on system, trying to make sense of these voices and whispers in Witchspace. Love all your series so far as well. They inspire me to want to go and see some of the old lore I haven't seen in ages, that I have never bothered to go out and see for myself. Firstly, thanks for the compliment. As I properly started this channel in the early stages of this year, I never thought it would grow so quickly, and it has become an integral part of my out of this world activities. Really enjoying my time making this content, and I'm excited for the future. Funny you should mention these noises, as I have linked below there is a thread on the Frontier forums that explored these noises, that if placed into a spectrogram, they create loose depictions of mountains. As we see many times, the powers that be have a reputation for hiding messages in cryptic ways. My suggestion to you, Audacity. It's free and has the tools you need to analyse anything you find. For further coverage on this, please follow the link in the description or wait for future content on my channel. Thanks for the watch. So far the discussions with you guys has been great, whether that be advice or discussion on the subject of Elite Dangerous. Thank you for the compliments also, it really means a lot. This game is not the plaything of any one group or gathering of friends. If you bought a copy of the game and play it, you have the right to discuss it. It's that simple really. Whether you've played since beta or you've bought the game 2 weeks ago, discussion on all topics within this game invites popularity and as such helps the game grow. whether you're a returning fan or new to the channel. If you have a theory about any topic within these videos or disagree with any of them, comment below. Please consider subscribing, and even if you want to like and hit the bell for future content. Cheers.